This team is going to take on the identity of this city, all right? And this city's been down, and it found a way to get up, all right? It's found a way to overcome adversity, all right? And so this team's going to be built on, we're going to kick you in the teeth, all right? And when you punch us back, we're going to smile at you. And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off, all right? And we're going to stand up, and then it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down, all right? And on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap, and we're going to get up, and then it's going to take 3 shots to get us down. And when we do, we're going to take another hunk out of you. Before long, we're going to be the last one standing.
All right, and just like that, we are back for another week of the Spike Kool-Aid Vodcast, hosted by yours truly, the Gridiron Blitz, and I am on with my partners here. We've got MICROMIKE from MICROMIKE, Detroit Lions Talk with MICROMIKE. What's up, MICROMIKE?
Hey, man, I love that intro. Every time I see it, it gets my Kool-Aid going. I don't know
Absolutely.
about Spike, but that Kool-Aid is sugary watching that intro, man.
But listen, man, that's the only way I know how to drink it, Mike, is spiked, because I've had enough of it the other way, man. I need it with a little something in it. And we got Mark Orum looking clean and looking like Rico Suave down there. What's going on, Mark? How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, fellas? How's everybody doing today for a Tuesday, man, for some Spike Kool-Aid?
Yeah, man, I need something because it was a tough day here in Michigan.
Oh.
We got smashed with snow, man. I know Ford Field is probably covered up, and glad we have a dome so I can go watch the games in peace, man. But anyway, we are back after a little bit of a rough week, man. It's just been, I think people had the detox from football. You had the Super Bowl, kind of like that detox, and now we're kind of moving our way into the offseason, and we're excited to talk about some Detroit Lions. So we got some people in the chat. Make sure you guys like up the stream, and make sure you guys get ready to comment as well, because today's show will be just a little bit different because we are going to take viewers' comments today. So be ready to have your comments ready. We will also have the phone lines open as well. So what we're going to do every week, we're going to start the show off with a weekly poll, or a poll of the week, if you will. And this week, fellas, we had a poll. I think this is just amazing here. And that poll is the Detroit Lions and next season. And if you look at it here, I asked the poll, and I put this right after the show last Tuesday. Now, Mike, I'll get your comments first. Poll of the week. Will the Detroit Lions win more than 5 games in the 2021 season? 62% say yes, and 38% say no. But I want you guys to notice the 1,300 people that voted on this poll. Mike, what do you think about that, man? Will the Detroit Lions win more than 5 games in the 2021 season?
That is a very tough question to answer. I'm really saying 5. That's what it is. So if we could do the, break even here, I'm going with that. I don't know. I'm thinking 5 wins is what they're going to get. It's shocking that it's that high, just considering the fact of everything that's taken place. But if I'm a betting man, and I am not, I would do the exact number of 5. So if you had another option of 5, that's what I would pick. But if that's a tough one, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid just yet to get above 5 wins.
Yeah, I think that's kind of, I think that, like you said, Mike, that's bare even, man. Bare minimum or max is 5 at this point, and that's even with the former quarterback on the roster. I still think we have 4 or 5 wins tops. Now, Mark Orum, you see the poll, man. 1,300 people look like they've tasted the Kool-Aid in one way or another, and it looks like we have 62% says the Detroit Lions will win more than 5 games for the 2021 season. What's your take on that, man?
Oh, man, Lions fans, I do love you guys. I do. After looking at that schedule, guys, I see 4 or 5 wins. Maybe we'll get to 5, but it's early. You know what I mean? It's only, man, you know what I mean? We still haven't got to the draft. We haven't got through free agency just yet. But that schedule is tough, guys. That's not an easy schedule. And looking at it right now, that's tough for us. I don't see any more than 5 wins. Maybe we can get to 5, guys. Maybe we can get to 5. Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
Maybe we can, Mark. I don't know. And you saw we talked about it last week. You guys can go check that show out. We talked about the Lions going in to play LA. We know that's going to be a huge game just because of the drama between the two teams with the quarterback swaps and things like that. But that's saying a lot, guys. 5 wins is more than 5. So it was more than 5 games, not just 5, more than 5. And we might get an additional game next year. We might get the 17th. I'm not sure we will. Now, let me ask you guys this. If we do get that 17th game, do you think that we might have maybe a more chance to win? Because we might play Denver, if I'm not mistaken, Mark, if you said so a couple weeks ago, that Denver might be that team. So if it is Denver, do you think that could change the outlook and maybe bring us that 6th win?
If it's the Broncos, I think maybe we could get that 6th win. Drew Lock, I don't think is really the answer there. There's nothing really too scary about the Broncos. They could be losing Von Miller. They have some really young.
I hope they do.
There's a good possibility that they could be losing him. They cut a lot of money by actually releasing him, and he's been going through some stuff actually there too. So I guess if it's the Broncos and the AFC West there, I guess we could get to 6. I'm still saying
we're reaching at this point. Yeah, we're reaching for 6. Yeah,
we're reaching because even those 4 or 5 wins, like we don't know. We haven't even seen the start of this roster on what's going to happen. So, like I said, free agency, the draft coming up, we don't know what's going on. I like this coaching staff and what they're doing, but on paper, it's nice so far, but that's not even including the players. So, I'm still sticking with 4 to 5 wins. I am.
Yeah. I think that is a nice kind of point to be in, where you don't expect us to be the worst team in the league like I think ESPN had us last week, but you don't want to get us too excited like we seem to do every year. Now, Mike, if we do play let's just play along with the Lions fans right now and the 5 wins. If we play Denver, do you think possibly that could be another win to add, and maybe that take us over the 5-win total?
Yeah, Drew Lock is not the answer. I've never liked him as a quarterback. He is, in my opinion, trash. I don't know what else word to give it. Gutter, burning trash can. The guy's not a good quarterback at all. Very immature, not a leader of men. And I think that, you can beat Denver for sure. Now, they got a good defense, but their offense is so poor. And I think with what Travis W. says, we have an impressive coaching staff. I agree with that. I think they can outplay and out-physical that team. With Drew Lock, he's going to give us the football a couple times, these turnovers, and his ridiculous dancing style will immediately make a ball fall out of his hands. And so that will give us a fumble. So, I think we can beat them for sure. The issue is you're going against very good teams in the NFC West, Seattle, Rams. I mean, the Cardinals, again, for the 500th time in a row. We're talking about San Francisco 49ers, who is going to have Bosa back. They're probably going to have a new quarterback. Their offense is pretty good. You're going against the Steelers and the Browns, who's actually good, the Baltimore Ravens, the Bengals, who's going to be better with Burrow at quarterback. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah. And I heard, I don't know if this is a rumor or obviously it is, but how valid it is that maybe a former Houston Texan, JJ Watt, might have some interest in going to the Cleveland Browns. I know a lot of people feels like he's washed up, but I think he's got something in the tank. And I think we would definitely see that when we play the Browns coming up. But I like what Roy says. He says they won 5 games with the worst coaching ever. So I say they win more than 5 games. Now, the thing I have about that, Roy, shout out to you for the comment, man, is that the roster is going to change so much. We no longer have our former quarterback. We are down to there's no Danny Amendola. There's no Marvin Jones Jr. And that's just at the receiver standpoint. So will we re-sign Romeo? So we got a lot of roster changes that could happen. And guys, what do you think about Royce's comment about winning 5 games with the worst coaching ever and his thinking that we might win more games based on that philosophy? What you think, Mike?
Look, this is going to be a great to determine how bad this defense was. Was it a massive lack of talent, or was because Pat Patricia was in control of this defense? That's going to be a huge issue. I can't wait to see. I do think a lot of it had to do with coaching. I think the coaching was so bad, it really affected the team. But when Patricia was fired, the defense was still bad. The offense actually picked up a little bit with Matthew Stafford and his stats, but the defense, I just feel there's so much players that need to be changed on this defense. The linebacking core is really slow. The defensive line needs a reboost. A safety, we may need another safety. It's hard for this to come together so quickly. And against such a brutal schedule, I think the coaching elevates it. I'm just not sure if it's going to take it over the top.
Yeah, because Royce seems to think that we had the talent to win games, but the coaching might have been a bit different. Now, Mark Orum, how do you feel about that, man? Winning 5 games, and that included one under Darrell Bevell, which was our last win, his coaching debut for the Detroit Lions. He beat the Bears in a game that we should have lost in the first place, and then Romeo stepped up. So what do you feel about that, man? Royce seems to think we have the talent, but we had a horrible coaching staff. Do you think the coaching staff matters that we could win more than 5 games?
I think coaching has a little bit to do with it. I think in that game that you just said, though, Grid, about the Chicago game where Romeo stepped up and knocked the ball out of Trubisky's hand at the end of the game, we ended up winning. That was a game by the players. The players, Patricia just got fired. Bevell's first game. They were playing for Bevell. Weird things like that always happen in sports in general, right? Like, especially professional sports, or a team where you're like, man, these guys have no chance on winning, man. They're not going to go to Chicago and beat Chicago. They did. And then we accidentally won a game against Atlanta too because of Todd Gurley's mistake. He falls into the end zone. So it's like coaching has a little bit to do with it. And the funny thing is our new coaches, guys like Aaron Glenn, Dan Campbell, they have been taking shots at our old coaches, not like saying their names, but they've been taking shots. And it's been duly noted by guys like me and guys like MICROMIKE and Grid. You guys have been noticing it too. So coaching has a little bit to do with it, I think, but I think it comes down to players. It does come down to a little bit of scheme, 100%. And Aaron Glenn, I'm going to go back to Aaron Glenn. He even said it before. He was like, man, this defense looked lost. They looked confused out there. We got to learn how to I'm going to take into account the players first before the scheme. So it has a little bit to do with coaching, but it has a lot to do with players as well, guys.
Absolutely. We got TA from Noble Sports Entertainment. How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, guys? What's going on?
Man, it's so good to have the crew back together, man. The band is back. TA, we got people. I had a poll, and Detroit Lions fans, 1,300 of them voted, man, and 62%, 68%, one of those, the overwhelming majority felt that the Lions would win more than 5 games, and that led us to Royce's comment that they won 5 games with the worst coaching staff ever, and so he feels that they will win more. How do you feel about the Lions winning more than 5 games, man?
No, I'm gonna stick to my guns, man. I'm not going to say that these guys are going to go just because you got new coaching staff. Yeah, I understand that, but it's still the players, that the talent that you got out on the field is going to mean a lot. So I still got to say between 4 to 5 games for me. I don't want to get my hopes up high. You know what I mean? I don't want to approach this thing where I'm thinking like, okay, these guys are going to go out there and tear it up just because Dan Campbell is the coach now. No, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time to get this thing turned around. You got to get the talent out there on the field. And I will be lying to myself. I gotta be realistic as possible. I don't think that these guys probably will win no more than 4 to 5 games, man. Just because of the tough schedule that they have. The schedule was very brutal, and I just think that the Lions ultimately, if they do win more than 4 to 5 games, then hey, slap me in the face and call my grandma. But but that's about it, though.
Man. Now we got Detroit Legends Sportscast. This dude says, "What's up, fellas? Lions will be 11-5 or 10-4 this season." Well, we definitely need some more digits to that, Willie, because that's only 14 games on that 10-4 record. But this guy here, he was the anti Matthew Matthew Stafford. He could not stand Matthew Stafford. And Willie, I need you to call in, bro, when the phone line.
Hey, Grizz, you better give me some spiked Kool-Aid, man.
Oh my God!
This is all I got, man. I had to go get it. I had to
The
go
world
get it.
just fell flat over. You got Mike talking about 5 wins, and you got Willie talking about 11 wins.
That is insane, man. But that just shows you how much one person, had a disdain for our former quarterback, whose name that I won't mention.
Right.
So 11-5. Now let me just take y'all back, because we got to keep doing this, man. And I got that Rams thing commented or highlighted there, because that game is special to me. We've got 7 playoff games. Now, I don't know if everybody can see this, but let me know if you can. We got 7 playoff teams that were in the playoffs out of our 16 games noted here. And out of those, man, we have 5 or 6 of them on the road. We've got the Packers, we've got the Bears, although they shouldn't have made it. We got the Browns, we got the Seahawks, we got the Steelers, and we have the Rams. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 playoff teams, including the Bears, if you have to throw them in there as well, because they made it after all. And you're saying that we're going to win. We're going to win 10 or 11 games this season. That is outstanding. I can't believe that. And shout out to Travis Doyley, says, can I hold you to that TA Sports Network? So TA,
yes,
that was for you, brother.
Yeah, you can hold me to it, man. I'm not gonna back down anything that I say. If I say something, then I'm what I mean, and I'm a mean. And I think that this team is going to win 10 or 11 games. I will be myself to go out and think this team is just going to turn around like the Browns or the 49ers. It's just too much work that needs to be done on the defensive side of the ball, and also with the receiving core. You don't know who's going to be out there yet.
Yeah. And look, Travis dropping dimes he said, put your money where your mouth is. That's what he said right there. That is crazy, man. Shout out to Travis, member gang, and dropping the donos. So Mike, man, Willie said, the Detroit Legends Sportscast says 11 wins, bro. 11 wins. How you feeling about that, man?
Oh my God! I mean, look, if that happens, I'll be doing backflips and you can slap me in the face as well, because I would be one happy camper to turn around this team, that defense, in which was 0-16 bad, to turn it into a playoff contending defense. The coaching staff would have to be coaching staff. Dan Campbell would have to be coach of the year. Brad Holmes would have to be GM of the year. It would be amazing. I understand that our former quarterback's not here. Still, a lot of issues is on the defensive side, and we don't know who the wide receivers are going to be. Kenny Galladay, will he be back? Marvin Jones Jr. definitely doesn't look like he's coming back. Danny Amendola definitely is not looking like he's coming back. Could we pick a wide receiver in the draft? We could, but are they going to be as effective as Marvin Jones Jr.? What about the right side of the offensive line? We still got Halapoulivaati Vaitai there. He was having issues in 2021. Can he get it corrected? Probably not. Yeah, a little bit of injury there, but you got to be able to have these issues fixed to become a team that's going to beat the Baltimore Ravens. That's going to beat the Steelers. That's going to beat these teams that really did well for the 2021 season. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah, and I like John. John is a loyal listener to ISN and the show. He says, for the panel, if we trade Kenny Galladay, can we get a second-round pick for him? And I think that that's a great transition point. The phone lines are open, by the way. The number is on the screen there, 515-603-5624. They'll be open for the next 10 minutes. Now, we heard some, Mike, and I'll start with you, then I'll go instantly to Mark so he can answer as well. So we were wondering if Kenny Galladay would we re-sign him, and it turns out that it looks like it's most likely that he will be franchise tagged by the Detroit Lions. So if we do that, do you think we trade him? And if we do, can we get a fourth?
Oh man, look, if we hold a lot of power right now regarding Kenny Galladay, if you decide to franchise tag him, you have the ability to either work out a long-term deal for Kenny Galladay to become the Detroit Lions guy, or you can just keep him on the 1-year deal to see if he lives up to the contract that the franchise tag is required and possibly extend him. Or you can trade him this offseason, get a second-round draft pick. I think that's what he would command, maybe to the New York Giants who covet him, and or try him out for the first couple of games in the 22 season and trade him before the deadline, you'll probably get even a better draft pick for a team that's trying to compete. And if we're sucking at that point, they could do that. So we hold a lot of power here. It will be extremely entertaining and interesting to see what's going to happen with Kenny Galladay, the franchise tag, and the Detroit Lions. They have a lot of options on the table. Man, I'm glad I'm not making the decision.
That's absolutely. And Mark, we'll go to you next, man. So, man, that's a kind of a loaded question there. Do we trade him? Do we get a fourth? I think we definitely have to get higher than the fourth, man. Kenny Galladay, to me, is capable of number one receiver, although Marvin Jones kind of stepped up in his absence. But do you think that, how do you feel about the possible franchise tag, man? And if we do we still trade him or do we keep him part of this team?
Well, I've been saying all along that I think that they're going to franchise him too. So, but if they're really serious about Jared Goff being their guy, like we've talked about this on past shows, guys, that we don't. Goff is going to need somebody. He is really going to need somebody going into the 2021 season, and I think tagging him is actually 15 and change. I thought it was last week. I thought it was more than that. So it's actually 15 and change to actually franchise tag him, and then. Like Mike said, Mike nailed it too. They have a lot of options what they can do with him. You can either, work on a contract with him throughout the year, pay him big money, or you just play out the whole year and just see what happens. But it all comes down to Goff, man. If they're serious about this guy being their quarterback, I think they're going to need somebody. They're going to need at least one guy. They're going to need at least a guy. They can't just go into the season with relying on two rookies or a rookie and then like an AJ Green or something like that, who's actually been rumored to Detroit. But
Mark, I was gonna say, man, you're very high on this AJ Green coming to the D, man. Very high. You've been almost every show you've been speaking him up, man. So if he does come, it's gonna be solely because of Mark Orum, man. But go ahead, man.
Yeah. Oh no, because I saw today that the Lions there was minimal interest in both parties for AJ Green and the Detroit Lions on bringing him in because he's gonna be cheap. He's gonna be $5 million, $6 million. He's not going to be a lot of money.
Man, that's a lot to me, bro. I'm sorry, man.
No, it is. It is for a 32-year-old for sure. But they're not really going to have a choice. The Detroit Lions. We can't really lowball guys. You know what I mean? Like we don't really have that luxury of saying, "Hey, man, come play for Detroit." You know what I mean? We're good. We're a good football team. We don't have that luxury. So it's like Jared Goff is going to need someone to throw to. So and like you might see an AJ Green, or they just might franchise Kenny and just flip a coin and see what happens with him, because I think it's a risk doing either with Kenny Galladay, getting rid of him or franchising. I think it's a risk either way. It's a big risk.
Yeah, I think so too. And TA, what do you think, man? Do you think we franchise tag him now? If he does get franchised for 15, that's more or less than the rumored 16 to 18 that he turned down. Which means that he's looking to get 20 million up in at Allen Robinson numbers there. But how do you feel about Kenny Galladay, man? Franchise tag him, and if we were to franchise tag him and trade him, what do you think we could get for him?
I definitely think with Kenny Galladay, you got to look at it like this. He did earn the money, man. He's coming off 2 back-to-back seasons where he had 1,000 yards receiving, and then this past season, he kind of regressed because he ended up getting hurt and things of that nature. But at the same time, I definitely believe that you can get another third or something like that for Galladay. Some type of compensation pick that these guys will be able to get. But the biggest thing is, what type of long-term deal is Kenny Galladay looking for? You know what I mean? What is Kenny Galladay really, really asking for? Because to me, yes, he has earned the money. I know some people say they wouldn't pay him. They don't want to pay him. But you got to look at it like, this guy was a 3rd-round pick, and he actually worked out. I mean, it's not every day that you get a 3rd-round pick that actually works out all the time. And Kenny Galladay is one of those guys that have he came in slowly, but he ended up becoming the number 1 receiver in Detroit. And I definitely think that Kenny Galladay is definitely worth it. It's a lot of teams that's going to want Kenny Galladay on their roster. So I think that the Detroit Lions definitely need to try to negotiate some type of deal throughout the season with Kenny Galladay.
All right. Now we do have a caller on the line, and this is a new caller. Remember, you will be recorded for YouTube purposes and playback. And this is a family-friendly show. We like to keep it clean. Who do we have on the line here? Who are we talking to? All right. Got to mute your TV. Got to mute your TV real quick. And you are on the line with Spike Kool-Aid, the Gridiron Blitz, Mark Orum, Noble Sports Entertainment, and MicroMike. Who are we talking to?
Hello.
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 Hello. Who we talking to, man?
What's going on, guys?
What's up?
John Casper.
John, I saved
Hey,
you.
what's up, John?
Man, I don't know why you
What's
didn't show
going
up
on,
this
buddy?
time, but I saved you, man. That's
Oh,
why-
it's all good. It's all good. I actually have a new number because my phone went to crap, so that's why I didn't get
Well,
saved. That's
what-
okay.
Okay, all right. John, what you got for us, man?
Not much. I was wondering, what is the craziest off-season thing you think we are going to do this year?
Ooh, John be coming with the fire, man. John be coming with the fire. Oh, man, the craziest off-season thing that we could do. Craziest? I don't know, man. We need so much, and I think like the time for crazy, I think it would have been former quarterback, getting rid of him, but that's gone. I really don't know. I don't know. TA, do you got anything?
I
man?
can't even think of one.
I can't either, bro. I can't. You got it? Maybe a crazy thing we could do?
Currently, I don't have anything that we can do, but it's crazy spending that we have. That's about it. That's we don't have money. We don't have a lot of money to play around. We can't do crazy this season.
Yeah, I don't think we can. I don't think anybody else. Mark, you got something, man? The craziest thing we could do this offseason.
Well, the craziest thing that we could probably do is we're in a rebuild. I know a lot of people don't want to hear the word rebuild. I know Brad Holmes don't like saying the word rebuild, but I'm spending a ton of money, just like TA just said. If we spend a ton of money, this isn't a rebuild. So that's where that's where it comes in with us saying that Kenny Golladay is a risk either way. You pay him. Is this a rebuild? And then if you get rid of him, well, you just got rid of a number one wide receiver. So, but I don't think in a rebuild, I think paying a bunch of money out to like 2-3 players is the wrong way to go about it. So I think that's the craziest thing I can think of.
Yeah, Mike, what you think, man? The craziest thing we could do.
Well, one of the craziest things is putting people in timeout for disagreeing. Please, if you're going to put somebody in timeout, make it legit, like dropping F-bombs or something like that. It is completely okay to disagree.
Yes.
And this, when it comes to ISN, we like disagreements. We like different opinions. It is vital for our show and for our subscribers to have different opinions. We don't want to think all like and being sheeple here. We have our own minds, and so please leave my boy, Mr. Jimbo G, alone, and he is okay to disagree. And same with Detroit Legendary Sportscast. We all don't think alike, folks. What could the Detroit Lions do that would be crazy? Oh, man.
I do have an idea, though.
Okay, well, what's your idea?
Yeah, go ahead.
Now this might ruffle some feathers, but I am about controversy, and we had someone huffing and puffing and thought it was kind of a mad move. I'll throw out another mad move to ruffle some feathers. What if we keep Kenny Golladay, we trade back? Me, I'm all about trading back. Get some extra picks. We get a second-round pick, and with that first-round pick, there's still a top wide receiver on the board, and we get the Heisman Trophy winner or the kid from LSU. Then you got Golladay. And you got another top weapon. That's a Madden move right
John,
there.
Listen, bro, I love what you're doing, man. I love what you're doing, John. You've called every week of the show, and I appreciate that, man. We will discuss that because I like that, bro. Thank you for calling, John.
Sounds good, man. I just wanted to drop that one on y'all.
Absolutely. John be dropping stuff and disappearing, man, like a smoke man. But listen, so he's saying we keep KG, we somehow we trade back. What did he say? We pick up Devonta Smith.
Yeah, we trade back and pick up Smith or Chase.
Okay, but Smith is he there if we trade back?
No.
What do you guys think?
Probably not.
No, probably not.
No.
Yeah, I don't think he's there if we trade back. Now, if we do, and who's the kid from Smith? Chase?
Jamar Chase. Yeah.
You think he would be there as well at 7?
No, I don't think he possibly could, but I don't know though. Depending on what Philadelphia wants to do.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I think they right there are probably, I think the biggest wild card in this whole thing is the Jets. I really believe that, man, especially if you're looking for a quarterback. But once they decide what they're going to do, I think it does kind of manipulate the top 15 easy. Now, I would love us to trade back and get that 15th pick. And then take the Patriots 46th as well. Let them come up because we know Jarrett Stidham is not the guy. Let them come up. We trade out of 7 and we get 15 and 46. That'll give us 2 top 50 players, man, instead of just the one that we would have. But I love that idea, man, of keeping Kenny Golladay and getting a wide receiver. Mike, how do you feel about that, man? Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase?
Look, I'm not going to be mad. I think when you're in a rebuild/retool mode, you take the best player available regardless. We need help all over this football team. And if you look at the beginning of this draft, there's a lot of elite offensive talent, but the defensive talent's not elite. Besides Micah Parsons out there, who do you got? You got Gregory Rousseau. You're not taking that guy at 7. Come on. He's more of a top 15 draft pick. You're not going to take Barmore at 7. You're not going to take Jeremiah Owusu-Karamoah at 7. And you're sure not going to take a cornerback and a tight end. So you're looking at the position of offensive line, if Penei Sewell's there, Trey Lance or a Justin P. Fields, and or wide receivers. I mean, that's really it. But I think the Detroit line's going to trade back. I really, truly do think they're going to trade back. But the craziest move for them to do is to trade up in this draft and do the opposite of what I think. And going up from 7 to say to 2 or to 4 to take a quarterback. That would be the crazy move, unexpected.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that.
I don't either.
It's not. It serves no purpose. I really think, and that's what I'll touch on too, guys. Is let me get your opinion because I didn't have a show last year, and I want y'all opinion on this. The Detroit Lions have the 7th overall pick. Now we think they're going to trade back, but Mark, I'll start with you. Last year, a lot of people felt like the Detroit Lions were in the best possible position in the entire draft with that first round pick. I don't think that was the case. I feel like this pick here is a better position than last year's 3rd for kind of trade back purposes. So what do you feel, Mark? Do you feel like the Lions had a better position, better leverage last year with the 3rd pick or this year with the 7th?
I agree with you, Greg. I believe this year is the better time to deal. I'm ecstatic that we didn't take Tua. I'm not a Tua guy with the quarterback thing. This year, though, we got teams like Carolina, Washington. We've talked about New England, all needing quarterbacks. And the Panthers are supposedly in hot pursuit of going after Deshaun Watson. So that team might come off the table, but who knows, man? They're asking for the world. So, but this year, I think we're in a way better place to trade back. I don't want to go back too far though. 15th is probably that's where New England is, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. New England's 15th. I really wouldn't want to. I even think that's too far to tell you the truth, man. But if we're going to go back that far, I would want some very good draft capital back in return, dropping back 8 spots. So, but yeah, this year for sure. Last year, not so much, man. I'm glad we didn't do all that stuff, man, with the Tua thing and like we should have took Herbert and all that stuff. I get it, but I think this year's much better, a much better option at trading back.
Yeah. TA, what do you think, man? Do you think that the Detroit Lions are in a better position this year with number 7, or you think as far as draft capital and having some people maybe jump up? Because I felt like nobody who wanted a quarterback was going to take the bait. I knew Tua was not coming here. Maybe this year that would be a little different if we'd gone back a year. But what do you think, man? You think the Lions had a better position this year or last year at number 3?
Well, I got to say this year. I know last year, you needed the corner. You got the corner because you lost Pro Bowler Darius Slay. So you had to get something. And hopefully Jeff Okudah will eventually pan out. Some people said he had a disappointing rookie season, but you got to give the young fella time to grow and be groomed. I definitely think that in year 2, he probably will change his jersey number because I remember when I remember when Slay had that number 30, and he was horrible with that number 30. So any corners on the team that got the number 30, get rid of that number 30 jersey because it ain't working. But definitely, man, I just think that truly, that it's going to be a lot of teams that want to come up and get a quarterback. And that if somebody gives me the capital and what I'm looking for as far as being able to get more picks, then I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to will and deal that. That's if I myself personally is not trying to draft a quarterback. To me personally, I'm going to say this about Goff. Goff is a solid quarterback, but to me, I think that he may just be the bridge guy ultimately, because they have him in here at least 1 to 2 years just to kind of give him a trial run to see what he's going to be able to do. So I definitely think that with him getting that trial run, I would also have my mind on taking the quarterback as well, because I take the quarterback. If I take the quarterback this year, I don't have to worry about coming out next year and getting a quarterback. All I have to do is let that young fella be groomed behind Jared Goff, and let that guy sit. And then while he's sitting, I go and build this defense up and build the offensive line and get the weapons that I need on offense. So that's what I would do as far as when it comes to the capital and the quarterback situation, because everybody wants a quarterback right now. Washington wants a quarterback. The Colts want a quarterback. I mean, it's just so many teams that Chicago Bears, they want a quarterback. So it's a lot of teams that want a quarterback right now. So if you give me the capital, I'm going to take it and I'm going to run with it, because I'm trying to get my team revamped and ready to come out and punch you in the mouth this season.
And that's what we definitely need to do. That we need to be uppercutting some people. And that's what Dan Campbell said, man. We're gonna punch you in the mouth, we're gonna bite your kneecaps off, we're gonna have some toes for dessert. And that's what I like to see, man. Now you guys brought up running, and I like that. And we've talked about this off the air about having a running game and how imperative it is. And I don't know about you guys, but it's still weird saying Jared Goff. Like knowing that he's going to be our quarterback is still weird. I've yet to see him in the Lions uniform. We got to wait 7 or 8 months for that to happen, but I'm looking forward to it. But it's still a little weird though. But we know we got DeAndre Swift, Kerryon Johnson, and Adrian Peterson, who's officially not on the roster. Well, he's not signed, but who would you guys like to see backing up DeAndre Swift? Because we already know DeAndre Swift is going to be the starter back. I think it was the Anthony Lynn that said he was a 3-down back. And I'm like, okay. So if we use that approach, or even if we don't, Mark, who would you like to see maybe to come in and back up a DeAndre Swift at that number 2 spot?
I'm kind of hoping they go young and maybe look towards the draft. I don't really see anybody. There's nobody really that catches my eye on the running back situation and the free agency, man. Maybe like a Kenyon Drake.
Okay.
He's a free agent. Todd Gurley, but that's almost like kind of like an Adrian Peterson kind of thing. But he's younger. He's much younger. But
okay. What about Mark Ingram? Let me throw that name out there. What about?
He's a Detroit guy. I think he's from Michigan, isn't he?
I believe so.
Yes, he's from Flint, Michigan.
Yep.
Yeah.
31
years old. I think he'd be a little bit more money than I would like to pay, though.
Okay.
He'd probably be pretty expensive, and I'm pretty sure he'd be good with being kind of like, I don't want to say second fiddle, but he'd be kind of a backup to DeAndre Swift. He'd be a nice like spot duty for him. But I think he'd be a pretty penny. I kind of want to see them go in the draft, maybe like the 4th round, and try to grab somebody. But I like a Kenyon Drake or maybe a Todd Gurley. I'd be okay with that. I really would.
Kenyon would be over. I think he would be out of our budget. I really do. I think he would cost more.
He had a down year, man. He had a down year.
He did. So did Mark Ingram. Mark Ingram, man, in my opinion, 3 to 5 tops. I mean, the dude had 299 yards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he let Adrian Peterson rush more than him, and the dude got him by. So if you let Adrian Peterson outrush you at 35 years old, you can't really say much this year. That's how I'm feeling. Now, Mike, how do you feel, man? Who would you like to see come in and back up, be the number 2? We're not just talking about we're talking about a number 2, maybe even a 1-2 punch to DeAndre Swift.
I'm looking for a number 3 because I want to see DeAndre Swift be 1 and 2. I want to see DeAndre Swift be the featured running back for this football team
100%.
and utilized his skill set in which he brings. I don't want a 1-2 combination anymore. I want a featured guy. He has the skill set to make the big play. He has the ability to do a pass catching as well, and he's decent at quarterback blocking. So make sure he's on the field. For my number 3, I would not mind Mark Ingram. I know we were just talking about he only had 299 yards, but remember, he was the 3rd back for the Baltimore Ravens as they drafted their number 1 guy, and their number 2 guy became the number 1, and he was averaging 4.2 yards a carry for those 299 yards. He wasn't given the opportunity, and I think for a bulkier small guy, he'd be decent on a 3rd down back. But whoever it is, I want to see DeAndre Swift 1, and I want to see DeAndre Swift 2. In my opinion, he needs to be featured. We need to finally get back to running the football via feature. We have not seen that in a very long time, and we drafted this guy in the 2nd round, high in the 2nd round. Utilize his skills. Let's run the football with him holding that thing.
Yeah, I like that, Mike. I like that 1 and 2. Now, I missed the comment. Todd says, open them lines. Well, hey, bro, they opened for 10 minutes on the back end of every half hour. So it was crickets. We did have John call. Shout out to John. Thank you so much. So they open, man, and they'll be open in about 9 minutes. So be ready to call. Watch he just disappear. He'd be like crickets after that. Okay, so TA, who would you like to see backing up DeAndre Swift at the running back position?
Man, there's a lot of guys that I could say, I could say guys like Latavius Murray, Kenyon Drake, guys. Even though I don't think that, like you said earlier, I don't think that they have the money for Kenyon Drake because he's probably going to command a little bit more money because he did rush. I think he fell like 45 yards short of rushing over 1,000 yards. So definitely he has a chip on his shoulder. He wants to be able to get to that 1,000 yards. But at the same time, I'm willing to take a guy from the draft as well. If there's somebody out there that I can get a diamond in the rough that I can go and polish off, I'm looking to get anybody that I feel that's going to be able to help this team get to the next level. Now, the only thing about Swift is this, and Swift is my guy, and I love Swift. The only thing about him is I'm kind of scared about injuries. I don't want injuries to be something that riddles his career and kind of has him on the bench chilling week in and week out. I want to be able to have a durable DeAndre Swift that is able to take the punishment of 16 to 17 weeks. So definitely I want Swift to be that guy, but I definitely would take a guy from the draft or a guy that I can get for cheap on the free agent market. So whatever guy, somebody like a Latavius Murray, somebody like a maybe a Jordan Howard or something. You just never know. But someone of that type of caliber that'll be able to come in and just help out with the duties of toting the load, because I don't think that Kerryon Johnson should no longer be a part of this team.
Yeah, you know what? He needs to be gone. Now Latavius, he plays for the Vikings, right? Or is
the Saints.
Now the Saints? The Saints. Okay. He's
backing up Alvin Kamara.
Okay, so my thing is, why would he want to come here? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I feel like that with anybody. But here's what I'll say about Mark Ingram is the dude ran for 1,000 yards the year before that.
Yep.
He was on the shelf kind of this year. So maybe he's fresh. Maybe he's, chip on the shoulder. Because Mark used to be the dude, man. Yes, New Orleans. He was the guy, bro. So I could see a Mark Ingram. I like the stature. I like the power. My fear with him is that he stays healthy as well. I know a lot of us don't like AP, man, but AP remained healthy this year. I mean, he really did.
Right.
He wants to now go play like everybody else for Tom Brady so he can go kick rocks if that's what he wants to do. So the phone lines. Go ahead, Mark.
Well, the thing too with Jared Goff, you guys got to remember, if you guys look at Jared Goff's numbers in LA, he really succeeded well with a good running game, and he's excellent in the play action. He's really good as a play action quarterback. And in order to have a good play action, you have to have a really good running game. It's pretty obvious. So he does need, I think, some help there, big time. And that's where I think Jared Goff will succeed. So if we can get like I want to see DeAndre Swift be the man too. I do. I agree with Mike 100%. But the NFL's, it's kind of a different. It's different now, man. There's always two guys, right? There's always two guys, and in order for a good offense and a good quarterback to succeed, man, you need to have a really nice play action and a fearsome running game in itself. So bring on another running back somehow, somewhere. Bring on a running back.
Yeah, and I think we need that because Jared Goff, he needs that. He needs that, and we don't have a ton of it. Like, I don't know about y'all, but you know, you're watching the NFL game. I don't know, Mike, you did all the games, bro. I want you to dive into the recesses of your memory, man. We're going back to September, between September and December. Okay, I want you to go back beyond that hairline, and I want you to come up and think about this. Was there any time that the Detroit Lions faked out the cameraman with the play action?
Oh, I think they did one time when they did a flea flicker. And it was, I think it was like to Jamal Agnew. And Jamal Agnew ran around a jet sweep, but ended up throwing it back to Matthew Stafford, where they attempted to throw it. It didn't convert, but it was a very good fake.
Okay, so does a flea flicker counts? You're going to count a flea flicker?
Yeah, because that doesn't happen all the time.
It seems like it happens all the time. Okay, all right, Mark. Do you remember any play? And the point I'm trying to bring is, I watched a lot of ball, man. A lot of streams, a lot of balls, and the cameraman was getting faked out left and right. I even got faked out a few times myself. I mean, the dude is on the running back, and the quarterback is off screen with the ball. Do you remember if, like, I feel like Jared Goff, he needs play action, and it's something we don't have a lot. We don't have a lot of success with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, Mark, I know we talked about baby hands and fumbling and turnovers is something that Jared Goff absolutely needs to clean up. Okay. Yeah. And with the lack of a running game, it could be something of a bit of concern for the Detroit Lions, but that's what that number 2. So do you remember getting faked out at all about any Lions games that you saw, man?
I remember one play. I kind of not on like a handoff or anything. I remember DeAndre Swift getting a ball. I forget what game it was. He juked out a linebacker so bad that I almost fell off my couch. I remember the cameraman kind of was like, whoa. I remember the camera, you could kind of see the shake. That was the real time I can remember. I forget. I think it was like a swing pass. I think Stafford threw the ball out in the flats to Swift, and he made this move. It was one of them. It was a Barry-esque move. It was like, that's Barry Sanders, man, right there. That was Barry Sanders, and that's the only time that I can recall.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even on a handoff or a play action or anything like that, because, hey, man, even the cameraman know that we don't have a run game. So it's not,
yeah.
And it's the truth, man. It's the truth. It's sad, but
it's sad, yeah.
But that's the only time I can remember, and it was on a swing pass. That's the only time I can remember DeAndre Swift just shook the boots up out of someone. So, yeah.
Hey, Mike, listen. Gino says, #bring back Bo Scarborough. Now, listen. Bo, he kind of went out with a whimper, man. Got hurt with Seattle, and I don't think we saw him again. Hey, man, big Bo fan. Bo looked. I like what I saw when he was in the D. I didn't like. He looked like he leaned up to me a little too much. But Mike, how do you feel about bringing back Bo, man?
When he was in Detroit, he's a north-south runner. I like north and south run. You're not going to get some crazy 20-yard play, but you're going to get in the fourth quarter linebacker not wanting to take that hit because you know he's coming at you and he's a bowling ball. I like bigger guys. I think it's always important to have a brawler in there and to just pound people sometimes. I remember we used to have TJ Duckett back in the day.
Yeah.
This dude would just run at you. I loved it. Yeah, you're not going to get major yards, but gosh, I love it when a running back comes at the linebacker and says, okay, you want to play? We're going to play the black and blue division. That's what I think about. I don't know if he's back to, what he used to be, but I do like Bo Scarborough. I like that type of player.
I like him too.
I just don't. He looked. I don't know. I liked him when he was here. When he left, it seemed like whatever he had left with him. I want a dude that is going to. I don't know if we're going to get that guy to run you over. I don't think we're going to get. I think we had that dude at Mark Thompson. I think Mark Thompson might have been a solid keep, but we let him go, and I don't know if he is even in the league anymore. But I mean, that dude, we got to see him in what two preseasons ago? Because we didn't get a preseason, man. He was laying cats out, man.
He was.
He was.
I don't know, man, but we got a couple guys on the line. The phone lines are open. We're at that point in the show, and we've got the loyalists. Well, now remember, you are being recorded for YouTube purposes. Clean show. We like to keep it clean on this channel. I'm going to unmute you now, and you have the floor. Ty, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on?
What's up, Ty? So you're a regular as well, man. What you got for us, bro?
Yeah. I mean, even though I want this dude to come to Kansas City, I think this guy could most likely go to Detroit. How about J.J. Watt going to Detroit?
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. All right, Ty.
We're not making a video, folks.
Oh, man. Okay, Ty, thank you for that call, man. And we're going to go through rapid fire because this is a rapid fire. Let me go ahead and cue the explosion soundbite. What did I call it, man? The rapid explosion?
Yeah.
I think that's what I called it last time. All right, let me cue up that rapid explosion. All right, so we got the rapid explosion. Mike, J.J. Watt to the D.
I need you to cue up another one. It's called To the Gnaw, Gnaw, Gnaw.
To the Gnaw, Gnaw, Gnaw. All right, let me cue that one up right there. And that was this. To the Gnaw, Gnaw, Gnaw. All right, there we go.
The reason he's not coming here, folks, he's going to a contender. J.J. Watt's not going to go from the Texans to the Leos. And I'm not going to make a video about it.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. All right, rapid explosion. TA, Noble Sports Entertainment. J.J. Watt to the D.
No way. No how. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, Ty, man, we love you, Ty, man. We love you, bro. I know you're listening, but man, no way J.J. Watt is coming to a rebuilding Detroit Lions team, bro. He's been with the Houston Texans for 10 years. Yeah. He's not coming to a rebuild, man. He's going to go somewhere where those guys got an opportunity to get into the postseason and make some noise. So it's kind of wishful thinking that J.J. Watt would come to the Lions, but the Lions don't even have the money to even grab him. So that ain't gonna happen, man. But nice try.
I'm not sure they could even get me, bro. This throw me a bridge card, bro. Oh man, oh man. Oh, okay. Mark, rapid explosion, man. Do JJ Watt to the D.
No, man. Yeah. He's playing games, man. He's playing games. He's telling everybody that he's going to Cleveland. Meanwhile, he's waiting for Green Bay to bite, eh? Green Bay or Kansas City. Yeah, man. We can't afford him. Can't afford him. He doesn't want to come here. He's not coming to a rebuild. He's what? He's 32, isn't he? He's about 32.
Yeah, he's older.
Yeah. So there's not a chance. Hey, man, it's a nice gesture. Ty, thanks, bro. It's all good, man.
Yeah, he already he already knew what he would.
Yeah, I think Ty knew what he was doing there. I think Ty knew what he was doing.
Yeah, man.
He's kind of chuckling.
He's calling on mass reaction, man.
Yeah. He's not gonna come here. Y'all got to remember, man. This year is gonna be rough. We have no money.
Yeah.
We're not an appealing city. We're not like the LA Rams, bruh. Palm trees. Look at, we just got dumped, man. We got 8.5 inches of snow. Who wants to be in this?
Right. So crazy, man.
You have to want to be
in football games.
And we don't win. Gotti. All right. So we got the loyalist phone lines seem to be blowing up right now. We got somebody. I'm gonna unmute you, Travis. Travis, you are unmuted. We got Travis Doyley on the line with us. What's up, Trav?
Hey, nothing much.
So what you got for the panel today, man?
I just wanted to know what you guys' thoughts were at getting a running back like Jamal Williams, Green Bay Packers backup.
Ooh, is he available?
Is he available?
I didn't think he was available. I know Aaron Jones. I know Aaron Jones is a free agent.
Yeah, I do know Aaron Jones is. Yeah.
I like Jamal Williams.
Yeah, Williams. I like what I saw as well.
He costs some money too, man. He's going to cost a little bit of money. He'd be a lot cheaper than Aaron Jones, but I didn't think he was even available, to tell you the truth, bro. I don't know.
Man, I wouldn't mind taking AJ Dillon off their hands, man.
Woo! Oh yeah.
Thunder thighs, man. Thunder thighs.
I was gonna say Dillon's a big boy, man. I think he not the Corey Dillon big boy. He that big boy with some. Yeah, man, I can see that. You know what? That it kind of gets me excited talking about that backup running back, man, because I think that when DeAndre Swift comes out, we need a dude you can fear. I think that's what we need. We need a dude you can fear, man. You don't want to just come straight on. You take Swift out and it's like up. And I think although Adrian Peterson didn't get hurt, he did his thing for a 35-year-old. You kind of like, okay, this ain't the AP from 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? You don't fear that AP. Now, if you get run over by him, you might fear him then. But if you can catch this AP. You know what I mean? He's not like that AP of before. Now, we got somebody on the line. You are going to be unmuted now, and you are on the line with the Gridiron Blitz and Spike Kool-Aid. What's going on, Todd?
What is up? It is not only Todd, it is Todd Super Ginger bringing some heat.
What's up, man?
What's up,
What's going on? He said that heat. He gonna bring the heat. All right, Todd, what you got, man?
Oh yeah. I just wanted to hit on a few things. First of all, running back situation. You look at a team like the Jacksonville Jaguars. They got a stud that was an undrafted free agent, James Robinson. And I feel like a lot of those teams get backs like that just about every year. Running back in the NFL is a dime a dozen, so I don't really feel like it's a position that we need to waste a draft pick on or anything. But, I mean, if we could get somebody for halfway cheap, decent price, I wouldn't mind that either. Also, Kenny Golladay, I mean, he's nice, but why would we pay $20 million for a guy that has missed so many games and can't get an inch of separation? I mean, he's a good possession receiver, but for me, as far as, Jared Goff and what he does, he's not a real guy that's going to swing the ball down the field 40 yards. He's more of a like Mark said earlier, like a play action guy that can hit those flat routes and slant routes. You really need somebody with some speed that can have that yak. So I think the best case scenario for us would be to tag him and trade him. That way we can get some more draft capital.
Ooh.
I didn't know what you guys thought about that.
Okay, all right. Well, Todd, appreciate the call, man, and appreciate you being a man of your word, brother. Thank you, man, for calling into the show.
Oh, yeah. All right, you guys take it easy.
All right, Todd in the building. Hey, so Todd is like, listen, Kenny, we love you, but you worth something right now, so let's tag you and let's put you up as trade bait and get something. Mike, how do you feel about tagging and trading, man? Kenny G.
Look what the Minnesota Vikings did. They had Diggs. They traded Diggs. A lot of people said, oh, terrible for a decision for their wide receiver. And they turn around and get Justin Jefferson, who's a beast.
Yeah.
Smart move, right? Diggs is
Who knew that was going to happen, though? No one knew that was going to happen.
No one knew it was going to happen. But that's what happens when you scout well and you understand the talent that you're seeing. Now, Brad Holmes is a great talent evaluator via College Scout. If they wanted to trade Kenny Golladay and get a second-round draft pick, maybe he can find another wide receiver in the second round or in another supplement round and turn around and get a quality player. There's risk there because obviously maybe the player doesn't turn out to be well. But that's where you trust your evaluator of talent. I'm not going to pay Kenny Golladay $20 million a year. That's way too much for him. Yeah. Now, $16 million, okay, 16.5, we're talking, but $20 million for a wide receiver when we're becoming more of a balanced offense. We're not going to throw the ball like we have with our former quarterback 40, 50 times a game. We're going to run the football a little bit more. So maybe take some of that money and invest in a better offensive line or a better running back instead of investing every dollar you have into Kenny Golladay. This is a big-time decision here, but I agree. Let me know in the chat. Would you pay $20 million to Kenny G? Let me know.
And you know what? And we got some people online. And I think I like what Mike was saying. But the thing about it is we are not expecting to win this season. The four of us are really not expecting multiple wins. I mean, we're talking about single digits for sure on the side of 4 or 5, ish type wins, especially with Jared Goff and the turnover problems that he has. And I think that this is the year of transition. We have to transition from the Patriot way. We've got to get rid of those guys. We don't know what's happening with Coleman. We don't know what's happening with what's the dude's name, man? The tight end that we never use. What is his name?
Jesse
James. We got to figure out what's going on with him. There's no more DA. DA will. I would not be surprised if DA finagle his way in Tampa. I don't know where he would fit in.
Oh, for sure.
But I could see him being in there. So expect a lot of transition, like revolving door type. Some people exiting and coming in. Now we do have some new callers on the line. I am going to unmute you now. You are currently unmuted. Yes, I'm talking to you. You are on with the Gridiron Blitz. Who we talking to today?
This is Marcus.
What's up?
How about we get as a backup running back? How about we get Trey Sermon from Ohio State or the big back from Oklahoma? I think his last name is Stevens.
Okay,
that would be a bigger back for us.
Okay, this is Mark W.
Marcus.
Yeah, Marcus Willis. Right? No.
No, Mark.
Oh,
no,
okay.
this is Marcus.
Oh,
right.
just Mark. Okay, so I thought it was I thought you were in the chat. Okay, all right. So you said either Trey Sermon or who else was it?
I think his last name is Stevenson, but he played for Oklahoma. He's a bigger back.
Yeah,
Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah.
Ramondre.
Yeah.
Ramondre. Yeah, that's his name.
Ramondre Stevenson.
He's a horse. He's an absolute horse.
Yeah.
All right. Well, appreciate
Hey,
that
what's
call.
going on, Marcus?
Appreciate
that. Long-time subscriber.
Appreciate that, Marcus, for the call, man. So he said.
Yeah, we appreciate you, brother.
Mark called him a horse. Mark, you
big.
got. He's a big dude. How big we talking, man? How
He's
big
like
we talking?
He's about 6'1",
6 foot.
247, 250. Yeah, he's a big kid, man. I'm not sure if I'd really want to pair him up with KJ. I mean, with DeAndre Swift, though.
I'm about to say KJ. KJ is going.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Get him out of here, man. Get him out of here, man. Get him out. What? Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, he is a big boy, though. Who was the other guy? He said
Trey Sermon.
Trey Sermon.
You're
I
probably
just
gonna
did
have
a video on Trey Sermon.
Yeah, you're gonna have to take him probably in the second round. I would think. I would assume, right? Maybe second round, third.
Yeah.
Well,
Trey Sermon is going to be a top running back pick.
He's gonna be top.
Okay, so is he going to be the first back taken?
I don't think so. It might be Travis.
Travis
from Clemson.
Etienne,
It's gonna be Travis.
probably go number 1.
Yep.
And
But now remember the first pick of the first running back was the 32nd overall, right? Clyde. So Clyde came off the board at the very end of the first round, if I remember correctly.
32, yep.
Yeah. So
He went to Kansas City. Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like Brad Holmes can finagle, bro. I think he's a finagler. You're talking about trading up to get Jared Goff, who they now, and don't get it twisted, man. This trade with the Rams, yes, former quarterback wanted to go there. And if you guys live in Detroit, you've seen the sad love story that he made to Detroit and blah, blah, blah. I'm over it. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you for your $1 million. I appreciate that. You could have just funded the whole school, but that's another thing. But anyway, so now we're talking about Brad Holmes made this happen. So I think he saw something in Jared Goff. I really do. And this dude has been known to move up in the draft and make some things happen, man. He went and got Jalen Ramsey. Now, a lot of you got Mike. I can't remember. We'll start with Mark. Mark, were you when Jalen Ramsey was talking about getting traded? Were you one of the ones that was talking about getting him or wanted to possibly get him here?
Not me.
Yeah, I didn't want him either.
I don't think I was even with you guys then.
Yeah. I don't think that was a thing. I don't think ISC was even a thing then. But yeah, I was not high on that. Especially, I know they gave up quite a ton. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is that Brad makes things happen. So if he wants this to happen, he gonna flip. He gonna flip that 7th pick to something special. I think if we just wait and see, we got about 2 months to see that happen, 2.5 months. But Nova Sports Entertainment, man. How would you feel about that whole situation with the Trey Sermon and the big horse dude?
Ramondre Stevenson. Ramondre. Yeah. Man, I would love it, man. If Trey Sermon was to get on the Detroit Lions, man, it would definitely be an added punch because he's going to bring power. Now, he's not a guy that can hit the home run or anything like that, but he, you know what I'm saying, he's good in short areas and stuff like that, having that burst and speed as far as that goes. But he has some problems with vision at times. As I was watching him and studying him, sometimes he doesn't hit the hole like he should hit it. And but other than that, the talent is there. The dude, I would definitely take Trey Sermon. The talent is there overall, and the guy that is in Oklahoma, Ramondre Stevenson. I believe all of these guys were sharing time in the backfield in Oklahoma. It's Kennedy Brooks. It was Kennedy Brooks, Ramondre Stevenson, and also Trey Sermon. And I think that's the reason why Trey Sermon ended up transferring over to the Ohio State Buckeyes. But definitely, man, I would take either one of those guys. I think that they would be guys that would definitely help this team out. Stevenson would be more of a bruiser back. A guy that's going to ground and pound you and bust you in the mouth.
Hey, so MicroMike has to take off. Mike, let him know what's going on. Part of the one half of the dynamic duo of Spike Kool-Aid and One Pride Podcast. Let him know what's going on.
One Pride Podcast on Thursday at 6:30 p.m. EST. It happens every single Thursday. We talk Detroit Lions and we have fun. We have a mailbag segment for 30 minutes of the show of an hour and 15-minute show. You got questions, we got answers. Make sure you are there. Get ready. Hey, we take all questions, and it's a fun time. You can say some crazy stuff, and we'll give you some crazy answers. But I appreciate everybody showing out and hanging out with the Gridiron Blitz. Appreciate you allowing me on. Having a good time. And like I always want to say the greatest words, who I think the pick will be. The Detroit Lions with the 7th pick in the 2021 NFL mock draft. The Detroit Lions will select.
I knew he was about to do that. Mark, I took you off by mistake, man. I knew he was about to do that. So I was going to take him out before he did it. But thank you, MicroMike, for being here, man. Appreciate you. Handle your business. What's up, Warpath? What is going on? We are going to kind of wrap this thing up. We are rocking, but I've got some things to do as well. But before we do that, I want to take these two guys. We're on the line with JC. Josiah, what's going on, brother?
Going well, man. It's going well. Just got a new puppy, so he's acting out. But it's going well.
Okay. Shout out to the new puppy, man. What's going on with you?
Yeah, it's going good. I want to just make a comment about the Kenny Galladay, about the 20 mil.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I think, you know, like, let's break it down. Like, look at the Super Bowl and look at why did the Buccaneers win? Yes, okay, Tom Brady. Yeah, they had good wide receivers. But at the end of the day, where was the battle? The battle was in the trenches, in my opinion.
Always
because they had the Dominican Sue. Right. Always. Yeah. They had the Dominican Sue or Pierce and some other players. I can't remember the name. But I just don't think we should spend $20 million on Kenny Galladay. Especially, you know, we could trade him, you know, franchise tag him, go ahead and trade him, then get a second round. Because I think at the end of the day, I mean, I was watching ESPN and they were talking about Sam Darnold. And they were like, you know, should the Jets keep her or not? Well, if they do, they're going to have to pay him because, you know, rookie contracts are like gold. Mm-hmm. So for us, you know, we got to kind of treat, you know, these draft picks like these are going to be all rookie contracts. This is like gold for us. So the more that we can get, the less money we got to spend and more money we can save to really, you know, bring in some big hitters once this retooling, you know, quote, retooling is, you know, completed.
No,
that's what I think.
So JC, you just answered my question, man, because I was going to say with the philosophy that you're kind of working with, we're not going to win this year, right?
No, not at all. We're not going to win this year.
Yeah.
If anyone thinks we're going to win this year, what Kool-Aid you drinking? Because I want some of that.
hey, JC, you know it's easy to find for us, baby. You know that, man. You know that it is easy for one thing about Lions fans, man, is we love hope. We love hope. Hope is all we have. So we love it, man. And hey, so we got you on the line, man. What do you think of those 1,300 people that voted? And they said 62% said that we would win more than 5 games.
To be honest with you, man, I don't think we're gonna win 5 games. I'm just gonna be honest with you, because there's so many questions, man. Like, just even think about the wide receiving core.
Yeah.
Jared Goff is not a Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford, like a lot of plays that Matthew Stafford did was on his own. Those weren't design plays. That was Matthew Stafford just balling. And then, Kenny Galladay, having hands on Marvin Jones or Danny Amendola or TJ Hockenson, making a play. We're not going to have that anymore. So a lot of the plays are going to be scripted. Jared Goff isn't going to, razzle dazzle, sidearm and stuff like that. So he wants those quick passes, and he's going to need a running game. Now, a lot of the coaches were talking in the press conference about the offensive line. We got some good pieces, but we need to work on that one because we got to give Jared Goff all the help he can get. So a running back, I don't think we should go ahead and try to get one free agent-wise because we can't be spending money on that. The money we got to spend is like bringing back Okwara. We need to bring him back because he had a good year. We can put money into him because that's the defense. That's the trenches. And then find other pieces to help complement what he does.
Yeah.
Same thing for offensive line. We got Becker, we got our center. I keep Ragnow. Vaitai, I don't know how I feel about him. To me, he might low-key be a dud.
He's a waste to me.
That's my own opinion.
He is a waste.
He's a waste of money.
He's a waste.
He's a waste of money
and space.
So if you are going to spend money in free agents, spend it on the trenches. Because it's like, listen, we got good. We honestly have, like, when it comes to cornerbacks, we got enough. We got enough cornerbacks. If you really think about it, what we really need is a strong safety. We need a strong safety that can really manage that backfield. If anything, that's what we need. That, and then obviously the linebackers and the defensive linebackers. At the end of the day, like all my coaches have told me when I played football, my dad, my grandpa have always told me, you win the game in the trenches.
Yeah.
You win the game if your offensive line is pushing the defensive line back, if your defensive line is pushing the offensive line back and getting pressure. So if that's going to be what we're going to do, if we're going to be biting kneecaps, we better be biting all these O-line and D-line kneecaps. We can win some games. Because if we don't, it's going to be the problem.
Absolutely. JC, my man, brother. Glad you're doing all right. Appreciate the knowledge and the call, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. You guys do an amazing job. I love what you guys do.
Appreciate that, man.
All right, we appreciate you, brother.
And do what I can.
I appreciate
that,
man.
Guys.
Well, listen, I was about to call this joint, but it's rocking, man. It's rocking. People want the number, and that's what we like to see. So listen, man. Kenny Galladay. I don't think he's worth 20. I don't think that. I think he's. I think we don't win 4 of those 5 games without him. That's just how I feel. I think he was a massive. He was our number 1. I think Marvin Jones did a phenomenal job being the guy, man, because we really didn't have anybody else. We had DA, who was MIA for 2020, and we had TJ Hockenson. It's like our offense was limited to Marvin Jones. The dude was concussed. I don't care what you say, and he was still playing. I don't know how he did that, but they let him play, and that's crazy. So I don't know if we pay him that much, but it looks like he is bound to be franchise tagged. Man, these phone lines are blowing up, and I'm excited about that. But duty calls, and I'm going to have to wrap up this show. So you guys have been awesome. We will be back on next week. And don't forget about this One Pride podcast on Thursday at 6:30 EST. If y'all like this, man, come back. Don't leave us hanging like y'all did last week. Last week was tough, man, but y'all here, and we appreciate that. Mark, what you got for the people, bro?
Hey, man, it was a great show tonight, Greg, man. Thanks for having me on. Spike Kool-Aid's always fun. I got some videos coming up, guys. Stay tuned. Yeah, man, new green screen, trying to get big.
And it's working.
These guys are helping me out, man. Thanks a lot, man. Yeah, man, everything's going good. Thanks, guys.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Mark, part of the team, man. TA, what you got for the people, bro? Yep. That's what I knew it, TA. TA
On
be
the
dropping
people
out.
again, man. Man, it's good to love on the people again, man. Hey, shout out to you guys, man. You guys are the real MVPs. Like we always say, without you guys, none of this could happen. And we appreciate each and every comment, whether somebody dislikes your comment or loves your comment, it doesn't matter. Everybody has a voice on this channel, and everybody has an opinion on this channel as well. We love you guys, man, and keep rocking out with ISN, baby.
Well, listen. Willie says one more call, but the problem is, man, duty calls, man, and
he's gonna bring fire too.
Yeah, I don't have anybody. Well, what I can do, fellas, I can put on the KG highlights.
Bonus round, baby. You can give them a bonus round.
Can do what y'all do, but hey, the Spike Kool-Aid got to be released.
Right.
It's gotta come on out, man. It's trying to come out. So listen, Willie, bro, call me right now. I got two other guys on the line too. I'll put on this Kenny G highlights again. Y'all go ahead, talk it up, and I'll be right back, man. We can keep this thing rolling and take these couple calls, and then we'll wrap it up after that. But go ahead, man. Talk over these highlights. Do y'all thing, man. I'll be right back.
Okay, what we looking at? Kenny Galladay doing his thing.
We're gonna have Kenny Galladay, brother, man, against the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, man. This was his. I don't want to say coming out party, but this is one of the games. This wasn't a game where he came out and said, "Y'all better pay me," is it? Or that was a Jacksonville game.
Yeah. I mean, Kenny Galladay, man, he makes some very, very tough catches, man. That's one thing I love about him. And I love that he was a third-round pick, and he proved himself in the league. That's one thing that I really, really like and cherish that about Kenny Galladay. I know a lot of people don't want to pay him the money. I wouldn't pay him $20 million either, but definitely, man, I would try to get him a decent deal if it was a long-term deal. Probably no more than 15 to 16 a season.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, bro. I'm not going to pay this guy $20 million. He's he's a great wide receiver, man, at times, but he doesn't create any separation. I'm not gonna bash the kid because he's a heck of a talent. He does his thing, man. Look at that going up and getting a ball like that. That's God's gift ability. You know what I mean? That's ability, man. That's not you can't teach that. You can't teach that right there. That's just God's gift, man. And but $20 million's a lot of money, man. Especially the way he kind of went out this year, man. Like doing like what he did, man, with all the speculation about him being hurt. Was he hurt? Was he fighting? Was he sulking? You know what I mean? Like is he a crybaby? Like there's a lot of question marks about Kenny G, man. The talent's there. We know the talent's there.
The talent is there. Yeah. Hey, the talent is there. And that's the biggest thing about Kenny Galladay is that he's more of a possession receiver.
Yeah. We got Robo TA. TA, we got you in RoboCop, man. Number is on the screen. These guys have been on hold for a while. Thank you guys for holding it down for me. Man, that was crazy. You are currently unmuted. Who are we talking to? Who's on the line?
You talking to Royce. This is Royce.
What's up, Royce? How you doing, man?
I'm good, fellas. How y'all doing?
Not bad at all. What you got for us?
Well, see, I really don't understand this Jared Goff disrespect as far as everybody thinking he's a bridge quarterback. This resume matters. I mean, the guy has won. He's taken his team to the Super Bowl. And I'm not saying that he's Tom Brady, but if you look at the stats, his first 4 years as a starter, we're not talking about his rookie year. We're just talking about the first 4 years as a starter. He has more touchdowns than Tom Brady and less interceptions. I'm not saying that Jared Goff is Peyton Manning, but if you had a guy like Peyton Manning in the league right now throwing all the interceptions he did, I mean, the guy threw for like close to 30 interceptions a few times in his career, Peyton Manning. Nobody ever said, well, he's a bridge quarterback, get rid of him. Resume matters. And another thing about Goff that people fail to realize, I don't know if they fail to realize it, but people never bring it up. In the last 4 years, Jared Goff is the second winningest quarterback in the NFL behind who? Tom Brady.
Yeah, I don't know who you watching because I'm not disrespecting him over here. I think that he he took his team to the Super Bowl 2 years ago or 2.5, 3 years or whatever it is. And I think that he's getting a really raw deal. I think he's not the victim in this situation, but I definitely don't look at him as a bridge quarterback. I
think the thing about it is that he's not flashy. And everybody's looking for the flashy quarterback. But see, it's not about flash. It's about winning. Resume matters. His resume says he's a winner. He's more of a winner than Matthew Stafford ever has been. I mean, this past season, the man won a playoff game with a broken finger. He didn't have a 1,000-yard rusher this season. There was no Todd Gurley. And we know those wide receivers he has. Who are they? I mean, he doesn't have a Megatron. He doesn't have a golden. Well, you know, he might have a golden. I mean, he doesn't have these big time offensive players that people talking about. No Pro Bowl tight end. I mean, Jared, you can win with this guy if you surround him with talent.
Yes, and I
mean, he does have some things. He does have some things that you need to clean up.
Yeah,
but he's a winner.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, when we got him, I said that this puts the 7th round pick, the 7th overall pick in question as far as, because it was like quarterback. And now I'm like, okay, do we take a quarterback? And Royce, what do you think, man? Do you think we take a quarterback at 7? What do you think we do at 7?
Well, I think that I don't think that this is a real deep draft as far as defense. So I say if Chase is there, you go ahead and get the wide receiver. You got to surround Goff with as much talent as you can.
Yeah.
You know, you have to continue to build on your strength. You know, now I think our defense can get better with coaching, but the strength of the team is offense. You got to get, you know, you have to get some wide receivers. We don't have no wide receivers. Everybody's talking about Galladay. We don't know what's going to happen with Galladay. So you have to get some catchers, some guys that can help this guy out so he can be what he can be. Goff is a good player. Yeah. So that's what I think we have to do.
Because he had some solid pieces. He had Everett. He had Akers running the ball. He had Reynolds. He had Higbee. So he had
Robert Woods.
So he had like a lot of. He didn't have the power move pieces, but didn't have the pawns either. And we've got nothing.
Well,
go ahead.
Well, let me ask you this question right here. Do you think any of those wide receivers are actual number one?
Not really.
Matthew Stafford has had number ones. He's had superstar wide receivers. Goff hasn't had that.
I agree. Right. I mean, you got Everett, Reynolds, and I mean, okay, Mark, you were going to say something, and Royce, appreciate your call, man.
But yeah,
thank you, brother.
I agree with all that. Like I agree with like a lot of you said, but Stafford's had number one wide receivers. Hey man, he's had Calvin here, man. He's had first ballot Hall of Famer. Right. But when you go look at Jared Goff, he's had a team behind him. He's had team like for his like
a complete team, right? I agree with you.
A complete team, man. He's
number one defense in the league. Number one defense
in the league, man. He's got 3 capable running backs, 3 good running backs actually this year. He had Todd Gurley the first couple of years of his young career. Decent, good wide receivers. Like no super studs, but Cooper Kupp is putting up crazy numbers.
I forgot about Kupp.
Robert Woods puts up really good numbers. Couple good tight ends. A really good offensive line. Like you know what I mean? Like when you talk about wins and stuff like that for quarterbacks and wins and losses, you guys got to remember it takes a team to win football games.
That's right.
It does. And I'm not saying Stafford is the best quarterback I've ever seen in my life, but man, it's going to be a whole different story when he's over there in LA. He's going to walk into that building and go, "Wow, I can't believe the difference." You know what I mean? And Jared Goff's going to come here, and man, do I feel for him. I feel for him.
Okay, Mark, let me ask you this, man, and we'll take another call, and we'll let TA jump in as well. What are you most afraid of when it comes to Jared Goff walking into this situation? Is it offensive? From you come from the Rams where you got all the pieces there, you just and I don't know if it was confidence or it looks like the team kind of gave up on him, the coaching staff, primarily his head coach. What are you most afraid of Jared Goff, if you had to tell Jared Goff, listen, you know, Matthew Stafford has been texting him and blah, 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 and all this stuff. So let's say you had to say, Jared, what is your biggest concern with Jared Goff getting placed in the Lions organization?
Right now? Oh,
right
man.
now.
There's a couple things, but there's one thing I'd probably tell Jared Goff, hey, don't look at the roster. Don't look at the roster just yet, Jared. Don't look just yet. We're going to fix it for you, bro. We're going to fix it for you. We're going to get you a running game. Okay, we already got a pretty good running back in place. Our left side of our O-line's pretty good. Our right side is completely trash. So we don't have any wide receivers.
Nope.
So that's a major concern for me.
Our defense sucks. So
our defense is the worst in the league, and almost every category, man.
Yeah,
that's what really. And people Lions fans are going to point the fingers at Jared Goff and go,
yes, they are.
Hey, you should be winning, bro. You're making $25 million a year. It's all your fault. That's what's going to happen.
That's exactly what
will. Yeah, he will take a blunt of the blame. Yeah, he will.
He's going to take a huge blunt of the blame. And look, he is walking into a disaster, fellas. He is. Right now. Yeah. Right now he is.
At Noble Sports, I love that, Mark. Yeah. That was 100% facts. And I think that's what we're going to do. It seems like the Detroiters, we don't want to place blame on the organization and where it belongs. We want to put it on this guy. Now, okay. You've got former quarterback coming off 0-8, drafted. He had no choice but to be here. I mean, he could have pulled an Eli Manning, but he didn't. He's here, never built a complete team around him, and now he's gone. Jared Goff is literally our defense was number 31 and 32. If there could be a worse category or position than 32, it would be the Detroit Lions defense. You're taking Jared Goff from the city, California, the city of LA. You're dropping him in the city of Detroit, and you're going to put all the blame on him. We already know. Now Noble Sports Entertainment. What is your biggest fear for Jared Goff, man, getting dropped in this organization right now?
Man, my biggest fear from him, like you said, the fans definitely blaming him for wins and losses, but you have to really look at it. It's a team sport, so it's gonna take a team to be able to turn this thing around. You know, you're taking Jared Goff from a number one defense. You know what I mean? The Rams had the number one defense. You're talking about Aaron Donald, who pretty much is third time winning the defensive player of the year. You know what I mean?
In Detroit, TA, I hate to get, bro. I just realized that when you just said it, you're going from number 1 to 32.
Yes, he's coming from a number one defense.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, from the number one defense to the 32nd defense in the NFL. Come on, bro.
Holy mackerel.
Come on now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not fair to him, man, but this is the cards that he's been dealt. So by him coming to Detroit, he has to recognize that, man, I don't know what I got myself into, but I'm going to try to be the best quarterback that I can. If you guys can get me some toys to play with, then I'm cool with that. Now, I want to say something about the wide receivers.
Okay.
A lot of people hyped about Vontae Smith and also DeMar. They are the two top receivers in the draft. Receivers, if you have been watching or you guys been doing your homework and looking at receivers, guys like Nico Collins, guys like man, playing for in the Senior Bowl, man. So you want to put your eggs in one basket. Just two top guys, the other receivers that got speed that can get separation, because at the end of the day, that's what the Detroit Lions need. They need guys that can fly down the field, catch a 70-yard bomb, and take it to the house. That's what they need. We don't have that. We don't have that. We have guys that just
Marquez Stevenson, who I like.
Exactly. So I've been scouting the kid, Tylen Wallace, man, and I've been watching this kid, and I have fell in love with this guy, man. This dude can catch the football, and he makes great plays after the catch. And I love guys like that. And plus, he gets separation from guys as well. So definitely, I like him. I like Nico Collins coming in, and it's some other guys that I like too as well that'll be coming in. So don't put all our eggs in one basket, thinking that we're just going to end up getting Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith, because those guys could be going early. Yeah. Those are two talented receivers, and we just don't want to just look at those two guys. So definitely, man, Jared Goff, he needs the toys. They need to make TJ Hawkinson the folk. If Kenny Golladay is no longer a part of the team, Hawkinson has to be the man. He has to be the man and
that's
get more
targets. That's a lot to put on a young man, though. That's a lot to put on the, the third year tight end, in my opinion.
And you got to do what you got to do, baby.
So you got to earn. You got to earn it out.
He's got to step up.
You got to earn it. All right. So here's what we'll do. We'll take these last two calls, and then we'll conclude the show by looking at the draft board. We got a man, Adam Smith. Adam, what's going on, Adam?
Not much. What's going on, guys?
Appreciate you for holding, my man. What is the deal? What's going on with you, buddy?
Oh, not a whole lot, man. Just freezing here in Kansas.
Oh, I bet. Hey, what is it in Kansas?
I know you guys get plenty of that. Oh man, it's been below zero for the past 3 days.
Holy mackerel!
So
wow,
we only got about 6 inches of snow, but it hasn't got above 12 degrees in probably the past week. So, my question is a little more general. Some of the other callers touched on it a little bit earlier, and I was thinking about it. I want to know what you guys think is the running back big paydays for running backs. Do you guys think it's over in the league? Because, people say running backs are a dime a dozen. Now, a lot of running backs have different skill sets and can contribute to teams in different ways. But do you think that the big paydays for running backs is over?
Man, Adam.
Go
ahead, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I mean, no offense. I don't want you guys to take this, but
go ahead,
there are no Barry Sanders anymore. It's about building your O-line, and you can take a running back that nobody's ever even heard of, and that guy could go to the top of the league. Because you can't do what Barry Sanders did back in those days. The game has progressed in a way that the defenses are too talented. And I don't think that Barry Sanders could even be Barry Sanders in the league today. What do you guys think about that?
Man, Adam, fantastic call, bro. Thank you so much for that. Adam is my dude, man. Been rocking me for a while. Thank you, Adam, so much. Man, big paydays for running backs. Is it over? I'm going to say yes. And the reason I say that is because you've got the Lamar Jacksons. You've got the Patrick Mahomes. You've got the Josh Allens. You've got these quarterbacks, man, that remember when Michael Vick came in the league, it was like, oh my God, this dude is a quarterback doing a running back's job. Now it's kind of, it to me, I'm not going to say standard, but in my opinion, you've got a Lamar Jackson who is a glorified running back. In my opinion, he should not have the quarterback title, if you ask me. So for me, the huge paydays, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say you might see a handful of guys who really have to stand out. A Derrick Henry, one of those guys. I think Clyde did a phenomenal job his rookie year as well. Big paydays. And then the shelf life, Mark, if we go there, you're talking about like 31, 32, man. For a running back to get past that is kind of rare. So, Mark, what do you think, man? Do you think the big paydays for running backs are a thing of the past?
Well, you kind of nailed it there, Grid. I'm going to say, but like a little bit, I'm going to wait. No, it's not done.
Okay.
Because we've been noticing, like you said, Derrick Henry, he just got paid through the nose. Chris McCaffrey just got paid big, then got hurt. But yeah, if you're going to see guys that run like McCaffrey, play like Derrick Henry, I don't know if there's off the top of my head, I don't know who's going to be coming up on a contract soon. You might see a guy like Nick Chubb get paid a bunch of money. I don't think it's fully done. Yes, there's you need two running backs in the league now, though. Like you can find a guy in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round nowadays. They're not as valuable, obviously, but if you're going to get a guy like I said, like a Christian McCaffrey or a Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb in the future, those guys are going to get paid. Mm-hmm. Those guys are always going to get paid, especially guys that stand out, like you said, Grid. If you're standing out, man, you're getting paid big money, like no matter what. So I don't really think it's done, but I think it's subsided a bit. So yeah.
Okay, so maybe valued a little bit.
Maybe they devalued it's a little bit devalued now.
Okay.
Unless he's a superstar like a Christian McCaffrey or a Derrick Henry, then those guys are going to get paid no matter what. Like, they're just going to get paid.
Noble Sports, what you think, man? Are the big paydays from running backs, are they a thing of the past?
To me, it just depends on the skill set of the player. You know, if you're talking about a guy like you guys kind of named, like Nick Chubb, Saquon Barkley before he got hurt.
Yeah.
Guys that are special, man. Guys that bring some intangibles to the game of football, man. It's a lot of running backs out there, and you can find a running back a dime a dozen, but finding a special guy, that is very, very tough. It's not too many special running backs in the league that can do a lot of things. But if you find one of those guys, you definitely got to pay him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially if his skill set warrants it. If this guy is a great pass blocker, he can catch out the backfield and he can run the football. Man, those are three special things that you need to be a running back. And those three things right there will get you paid.
Yeah, I agree. Now, we do have somebody on the line. You are currently unmuted. Who are we talking to here?
Yo, this Will, Detroit Legend Sports.
What's up, Willie? What's going on, man?
Willie.
I've been waiting for this call,
Not
man.
too much.
I have been waiting for this call, bro. I know you want to unleash. I don't know what we're talking about when you first got on the line, man, but I know the happiest day in your Lions fandom occurred a couple weeks ago, man, when Matthew Stafford, it was no longer going to be our quarterback.
Man, I pulled out my biggest bottle of Dom Perignon that I had.
Now listen, man. Listen. So you put in early in the chat, okay? 11-5, 10-6, somewhere around there. So you've heard the show. We've talked about the lack of receivers. We need a second running back. Our defense is horrible. What makes you think that Goff is going to be so much of a difference maker than our former quarterback?
Well, you got to look at it like this. All right. The defense was bad for one reason and one reason only. Scheme.
Okay.
When you got a coach that wants to put the players to a scheme and it's not that player's skill set, you're going to have disaster. Plain and simple. Now, our new guy coming in, his interview, he said it. I'm not trying to build a scheme around a player. I'm putting that player in a position where he can succeed. If the player can't play man, he won't play man, basically. If the player can't succeed in 3-4, we're going to go to a 4-3. Basically, he's going to make it as simple as possible. The players that we have on the team are not trash. They wouldn't be in the NFL if they were trash. The players on the team was put in bad positions to make mistakes. That's what it was. For 3 years, we've seen that. Previous tenure before Patricia, defense was decent. See what I'm saying? It wasn't piss poor. Right. Almost the same players. Those same players the very next year looked terrible. Glover Quinn, he looked terrible in that defense.
He was getting old.
And he was a Pro Bowler.
But he was getting old though, Willie. He was getting up there.
He was not old.
Come on, man. Okay, all right.
Yeah, he looked bad in
okay,
Patricia's defense. He looked bad with Patricia, but with Caldwell, he was the man.
He was the man. But okay,
he was the man.
Let's say this though. Let's say this. You said that. Now let's look at the 15, 16 Patriot players that we got that I don't think were on the team when Jim Caldwell was there. So you said
no. See, I was going to address that one next.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so the players that Patricia brought in, they were good in Bill Belichick's system, not Patricia's system. You see what I'm saying? It's different.
Right.
When do we see the Patriots play a full-out man-to-man the whole game, even though it wasn't working? We never seen that from the Patriots. If the Patriots is getting beat second half, they're coming out and they're going to lock down. They're going to switch everything up. We didn't see that from Patricia. We've seen us go out there and play man, get killed in the first half, come back and play man in the second half, get killed again. Same thing over and over again. So the players are not bad. If you know Jamie Collins can't play inside or can't play outside, take him off the field. Simple. We had other linebackers at the time. Christian Jones, I don't know why he's still on the team. He has to go. You know what I'm saying? It is players that do have to go.
Everybody says the
same with the second round pick guy we got from Honolulu. He has to go.
Yeah.
That is the worst linebacker I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Willie, let me jump in real quick, man. Okay, let's say that Bob Quinn, who was to me a failure. Okay, let's say that he takes Jelani where he took Will Harris. Do you feel the same way?
Yes. Why take him at all? Nothing on his. Whenever you draft a player and the commentators pull up and say, "Hey, we don't have any film on this guy," he is not the person you're supposed to have draft.
Oh yeah, 100%. Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, so Mark, you agree? You agree with that?
I just made a video about it yesterday. I just made a video about the same thing. I said exactly the same thing he just said. When the Lions drafted him, ESPN or whoever it was, they were scrambling going, who?
They had zero footage on this guy.
Yeah. We ain't got no video on this cat, bro. We ain't got no video on him. So it's like, yeah, so that was a bad pick. That was that guy should have went undrafted or in the 6th round or something. Yeah. I agree with that.
Yes, late undrafted, somewhere around there. But I'm going to swing over to the offensive side because defense, I have no issue with what Aaron Glenn's going to do with our defense. On the offensive side of the ball, Jared Goff is coming from an offense with no superstars, basically.
Okay.
So what's going to make him fail with no superstars on the Lions offense? We actually, I think Stafford has some pretty good offenses and still haven't been able to succeed. So it's like when you have a Kenny G and a Golden Tate, there's no way you can't win. Or, Stafford had the mentality of it's like when I watched him play, I wasn't spaz. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't spaz. Not even in college. Like, why did we draft this guy? Same, he's not the worst quarterback I've ever seen. But
I gotta jump in, Willie. I gotta jump in, bro. This is the most civilized I have ever heard Willie Kennedy. I have never heard him this civilized. He couldn't stand Matthew Stafford. Every time he called, he was just like, I want his head. And now he is gone.
The guy.
And I've never heard you this civil, bro.
I used to hate watching the Lions play only because you can predict what's going to happen. Like certain drives, this is a drive with Stafford throw a pick, and this will be so lucky. Here it comes. He's just like throwing the ball wildly, and sooner or later he throws the pick. He's like, how can I call that? Because you can watch the play for 12 years. I will never forget in the Saints game, it was one drive where it looked like he was just trying to throw the other team the ball and then end up throwing him the ball in the red zone. And we was up 14 points, and they ended up coming back from 2 picks from Stafford. After that, I've been done with Stafford since like 2000 and maybe 12. I've been done with him. And then 14 really canceled me out when he had the number 1 and number 2 defense and he couldn't get it together. It wasn't the offense as a whole. It was Stafford. Stafford was out there throwing ducks, throwing balls in the ground, couldn't complete a pass. So I got the Rams next year going 5-11, even with a number 1, number 2 defense.
No way,
man. Wherever Stafford goes, that's it. He just gonna bring
you kind of don't want them to have a good record either, because you want to get that good pick in that first round.
Yeah, I hope they go 5-11. I hope they go.
With Stafford, I mean, Stafford is a known loser, so it's like by you being a known loser, I don't know why the hype is so hype about him. Jared, it's just what it is. I mean, I know he's been in Detroit. Even
is Calvin Johnson a loser? Is Calvin Johnson a loser?
Yes, Calvin Johnson is a loser. He's a great
loser
player
too.
Okay.
So that whole
absolutely.
Okay. All right. Wait. Well, it's not just Matthew Stafford then. It's not just Matthew Stafford. It's everybody. Right?
All right. So it's everybody, but we put Calvin on a pedestal because of what he was able to do, as in his own individuality. So with Stafford, if Stafford would have had a couple MVPs or MVP discussions or, led the league in good categories before, even the year he went 5,000 yards, it was 3 other quarterbacks who do the same thing. So it's like, you still wasn't number 1. So it's like, even his homeboy, we call Matt Ryan trash. Matt Ryan been to Super Bowl and won MVP.
I don't think
he's not better than Stafford.
I don't think Ryan's trash.
I think he's aging, but he's not trash.
Lions fans I've talked to, they think Matt Ryan is trash. But I think he's better than Stafford. People tell me Josh Allen is not.
You know that Lions fans are a different breed. We are, man. We're the only. So I think that, like I saw a graphic the other day, and it was just like teams with 6 championships. I wish I could find. I think it was on Twitter. It was from ESPN, and it had the 2. Wait, who did it have? It had the Steelers and Patriots. Then it had all these people, and then it went to and it's like teams that's never won, and it's 8 teams that's never won, and then teams that's never even been, and we were in there. I think, like, I don't even think Browns fans are like us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're just a whole different breed, man. Like, we are just reliant on hope. And I think, Willie, for us,
it's not even hope. It's just,
okay. So what
you know what I don't understand? I don't understand this. So most of all the people who are saying we're going to fail were with Patricia for 3 years. Like, I could tell if you go in with the first year because you don't know. But after the first year, we all clearly seen all the flaws. Everyone did, all the flaws. You come in, you take a 9-17, you turn them into a terrible team. Like, we was just on the upcoming up. Like, we was building. We still didn't have the correct players, but we made it look good, basically. And the people who was riding with Patricia are just dooming this whole coaching staff already. They're putting them like, we're going to win 2 games. We're not going to win 5 games. So we won 5, at least 5 each year, but the last year Stafford was hurt. You know, we didn't have a probable backup. So, you know what I'm saying? Even with that, we won 3 games. But we are dogging a coaching staff where all the coaches are former players and has really won a little something in their career. You think that's not going to rub off on the players?
Yeah,
it will. It will.
I see that. And listen, Willie, man.
The best thing I've heard
yeah.
was Aaron Glenn's press conference. And in his press conference, it gave me the identity of the team, and it gave me what players are going to be held up to as accountability in his one press conference. I didn't have to watch nobody else. After I heard his, I said Sheila's doing her job.
Yes. Yeah.
That's all I need to know.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well,
we have never had a coach that came here and said that.
Yep.
None of that stuff.
I agree. Okay, Willie, listen, man. It's early in the season. We ain't even officially started the off season yet. You saw this. You saw the teams we play. We don't know when we play them. We don't know where exactly at what time of year. So you want to put
I'm sticking with my guns.
Okay, all right. And your
11-5 for us, 11-5 for the Lions, and 5-11 for the Rams.
Man, Willie Kennedy, Detroit Legend Sportscast, man.
Crazy.
Appreciate you.
That's
Appreciate you calling me, bro. Appreciate you, man. We got it.
Absolutely.
Now that Stafford's gone, man, we got to have a show and show the world the new Detroit Legend Sportscast.
Absolutely.
Hey, that's my dude, Willie. Hey, Mark, Willie he's never, ever, ever had any faith in Matt Stafford.
And that's fine.
He's never had. Okay.
Sorry to cut you off, Grid.
No, go ahead, man.
Yeah, it's just the thing about. I asked him a question. Okay, so Stafford's not the only reason, and he says, "Well, no, and it's not the only reason." But then he goes and says that the Rams are going to win 5 games. Why? Because Stafford's there, right? Like,
he
doesn't like him that much. I can tell. Like that's just pure hatred. And I get it. He's
never really liked Stafford. He's never really liked Stafford.
You have to have a team around you, man.
I agree.
You have to have a team, and Stafford's going to a team. He is. Yes, we have this nice little coaching staff on paper. Looks great. Former players, rambunctious, fired up, wanting to win for the city. I
biting kneecaps.
Biting kneecaps. I get it, man. But I'm telling you right now, you better. I'm looking at you, Dan Campbell, and saying, you, Brad Holmes, you better surround Jared Goff with some talent. And if you don't, he is going to fail like any other quarterback that's been here for the past 60 years.
Now, it was something that Willie said that kind of intrigued me a little bit. I don't know if I agree, but it intrigued me, and that was that the players weren't as bad outside of Jelani Tavai and like just outright flops. They weren't as bad as the scheme was making them seem. Now, I must say that in Patricia's 2.5 years, we were horrid. We got snacks. We jumped into the top 10. I think we ended within the top 15, somewhere around there.
Yeah, his first year, right, Chris?
His first year. Yep, first year. Second year, 31 overall. Third year, 32 overall. So, TA, is it scheme? Is it players? Is it 50-50 both? What do you feel about Willie's comment of these players, if they weren't any good, they wouldn't be in the NFL? That it's not particularly the players, but it's the scheme.
I think that I think it's a mixture of everything. I think it's a mixture of coaching. I think it's a mixture of having the talented players. Now I know he said something about Willie said something about that is not really the players, but when you look at it, the linebackers are not really, really good. Besides Jamie Collins, the linebackers are not that great. Terrible. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
look how many times they pulled our starting linebacker Davis pulled out of the lineup. He was on the bench. So that's telling you that the talent that we have at the linebacking core is not really, really good. And I just think when it comes to the Detroit Lions, it comes to having them in the right scheme. Yes, I do agree with that, having them in the right scheme, but I also have to say it goes with having talent on the team as well. You have to have Detroit Lions do not have a face on defense. Who do you fear on the Detroit Lions defense? Nobody. Because there's nobody. I mean, when you had Sue over here and you had DeAndre Levy and Ziggy Ansah when he wasn't hurt, you had a face a little bit. You had guys that can go out and make plays. But right now, currently, the Detroit Lions do not have a face on defense. So when teams play this team, they don't fear number 27 or they don't fear number 54 or 55 or whoever it may be. They don't fear that guy. And you have to remind the other teams, when you come in here, you're going to fear our guys because our guys are going to punch you in the mouth. And that's what the Detroit Lions need. They need a face on the defense this season. That's what they need ultimately.
Yeah, shout out to Adam. He says, meant to tell you guys, I love the stream. I love all football talk. And I know y'all are Lions fans, but this could be huge if you open it up to football in general. That show is tomorrow night. It won't be this week because Mr. Sports Talk is out of town, but it's usually Wednesdays at 7 o'clock on TROXE'Ls Sports Talk. Necessary Roughness, which is an all general football conversation. Adam, appreciate that, bro. This is where my passion's at. I love talking about football as well, but yeah, that's that. So we got a show for like all of it, man. But listen, shout out to Hollywood 80 who's in the building. I don't fully agree with a Detroit Legend because we had some stinkers, bro. Like we did. We had Tavai. We've got why is Jared Davis. He's not a stinker, but he's not real. He's not real. Then you've got our defensive line. You've got Romeo, solid when he plays. Trey Flowers is overpaid. If you take out Romeo, there was nobody else. The secondary. Tracy Walker was solid at times, but then he was hurt. You got Okuda, he got burnt early, then he got hurt. Then we had guys like Mike Ford. We got dude who wound up in a poster by Derrick Henry. What's the dude's name, man?
Miles.
Was it
Miles Alexander?
Man, praying for you, Miles, because the dude got kids, man, and now he's forever on a poster and a meme. That is what we had. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that it could be scheme, but it's players as well, man.
Yeah, it's players' talent. Yeah, it's talent too that goes along with it.
We need some talent, and that is courtesy of Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia. You know, a spade is a spade. Bob Quinn was terrible. I think he hit at times with Kenny Golladay, but then when he missed, guys, he missed. He's Tabor. You know what I'm saying? When he missed, he missed. Now, Mark, I know you high on Austin Bryant, but I don't right now, man. I got to call it a miss, bro. He got to be healthy.
What about the Sean Hand? What about the Sean Hand?
Miss.
Sean Hand.
Miss.
Yep.
Miss.
Well, for sure, man. Yeah. I think Austin Bryant right now is a miss. 100%. He's a guy that we got late because of an injury in college. He was hurt at Clemson. Took him a bit to get on the field. Hasn't done much, but I saw the games I seen him at the end of this year. I saw Austin Bryant kind of turning it on a little bit, man. I just saw a little more burst. He was a guy that probably should have went the second round at least on the year he got drafted a few years back. So I kind of seen that burst for him, and he didn't really show it on the stat sheet, but he accumulated a few tackles. You know what I mean? He just looks like he might be something. And I think he was being used wrong by Patricia. He should be a stand-up line. I think he should be a stand-up DN jack linebacker. That's what I think he should be, man. He's long. He's got burst. He's not exceptionally heavy. So he's got that kind of lineman. I'm not going to say he's JJ. He's like a TJ Watt, but he kind of reminds me that he could be a TJ Watt because that's what he was at Clemson. That's what he was at Clemson.
I say this. Hand, this is it. If you own this team, this is it.
He's gone.
if you're on this team, if you're Austin Bryant, if you're Deshaun Hand, if you are Jared Davis, if you're still here, this is it. I don't want to hear nothing. You get injured, you're gone. You don't play, you're gone. I don't have time for all these would've, could've, might be, could be. You know what I'm saying? It's time, man. That's why we don't have any difference makers. That's why we don't have people that you're afraid of. Here it is that Romeo is the face of our defense. He is. Okay, Trey Flowers, the $90 million man. Where are you?
Give your paycheck. Give your paycheck over to Romeo.
Hey, absolutely.
Yep.
What's up? Big Baby says $2 says, what up, though? Trey Lance or Micah Parsons or trade back? Trade back. TA, what you think? Trey Lance, Micah Parsons, trade back.
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance. Mark, what you think, man? Trey Lance, Micah Parsons.
I love Micah Parsons.
Okay, so we actually divided. I say trade back. We divided. Okay, a three-way split. My son's learning about fractions in homeschooling, so I took that, man. So listen, we have had a great show. Shout out to MicroMike and the fellas for getting on, man. We are at the 2-hour mark. We're gonna wrap it up now. Man, I appreciate you guys coming out, using the phone lines. This is what I wanted to do, and now we're gonna officially really end the show. Noble Sports Entertainment, what do you got for the people again, man?
All right, man. We out, guys, man. We appreciate you guys. Hey, Willie Kennedy, we love you, brother. Definitely, man. Even though everybody got difference of opinion on the Lions and things of that nature, nobody is wrong or anything like that. We just stating our opinions, what we think about the team personally. Definitely, me, myself, I definitely think that the Detroit Lions need a face on defense. I don't care if this guy is undrafted. I don't care if you get this guy from out of Walmart stocking shelves. Go find the leader of the defense.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Mark, what you got for the people, man?
Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks everybody in the chat. It was fun, man. Disagreeing is what it's all about. I love that, man. We get to have good conversation like that. Thank you, Grid, for having me, bro. I love Spike Kool-Aid. This is awesome. I'm gonna drop some videos in the future. And hey, guys, it takes a team to win a football game. Remember that. A team.
Absolutely. Mark, you part of the team, man. Always welcome. Listen, that's what the purpose of this show is. This purpose, we are not all mindless drones. We don't all think alike. Opinions are valid, and I love them, man, because sometimes your opinion, it can be right. Sometimes it's all in left field, but whatever it is, it's yours. I like to hear it, and that's what the purpose of this show is. So whatever you think it is, you can call. We'll talk about it. We might laugh at it, but it is what it is. It's all in fun, no disrespect. So with that being said, you guys are awesome. Shout out to MicroMike, TROXEL'S Sports Talk, all the ISN members. Make sure you guys tune in Thursday for the One Pride podcast, where the last half hour of the show is a mailbag segment. You can ask Lions questions, general questions, whatever you want. Appreciate the super chats. Appreciate my members as well. And listen, I don't know what the Lions are going to do, but our season is starting now. We've got the off season about to go in full effect. I don't know how many moves this team can make, but I think that Brad Holmes is going to make some stuff happen. He's going to make maybe a ripple, and I don't expect a splash, guys, like a Trey Flowers or anything like that. We just don't have the money to do that.
Yeah, we don't have the money in free agency. No.
Yeah, and Brad Holmes is not that dude. But don't be surprised at this draft thing, man. I don't think we're going to get somebody like Trevor. We're not going to get a Wilson. But I think that he got something up his sleeve as far as trading back and gaining more picks and possibly more for this year. But this is not a rebuild. It's a retool. So be ready for, man, quite the year coming up. But you guys have been awesome. My name is Gridiron Blitz. This is Spike Kool-Aid, and we will see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.